Good evening guys, welcome back to the channel, back on a compact. If you watched the previous episode, I thought I'd fixed the issues I was having. It looks like I haven't, still issues are still there, so I need to look into that. Also, I need to lower the back end, it's way too high on the max speed and rod springs, so I need to put some adjusters in and put some lowering springs in. Get the back end sitting how I want it. Front end is fine, but the car is raked like this currently, so drives really nice, just not low enough for me, so I need to sort that out. And also, I got my 6-cylinder clocks repaired, well I think they're repaired. I need to test them to try them out, so I'm going to do that in this episode as well. Yeah, so, and as I said, have a look at this running issue to see if I can work out what it is. Has to be fuel related, because everything else has been changed, except for like the fuel lines and stuff, and I think there's a return valve in the fuel system. So potentially that, so maybe going to have a look at that. But yeah, first of all, let me find the springs I have. I've got the adjusters. I'll give them a quick clean up because they've been on the shelf for a while, a bit rusty, and let me get some springs. Right, so just been going through what springs I have sitting here. Got a collection of different ones. I think these are like just Pro Sports, and some like cheap max speed and rods adjusters from years ago. I think that's like a HSD one, but I've only got one because my other one broke, or a BC maybe. HSD or BC, like 10 kilo spring. These are, I don't know what rating these are, but they're like Apex springs, but I'm pretty sure they're E36. And I was running these. These are just cut springs. Yeah, they were alright, but they were a little bit soft. But I think I'm gonna go back to using these. These are like max speed and rod ones. Cut quite a bit off because they were way too high. These aren't the ones that are on the car. The ones that are on the car aren't cut. They're the same, but not cut. These ones, I did have them on before, but I had the wrong shocks, and it was very bangy on the back, and it did sit very low. So, got proper shocks on it now, compact shocks. Got adjusters on these as well. I'll just grease these all up and give them a clean. Let me try these ones on it, see what they're like. If not, I'll try them Apex ones. As I said, they are E46. I'm not sure how low they are. Maybe 30 mil. But yeah, these, let me try these ones first. Right, just so we have a starting reference of where it's currently sitting. It's off the ramp at the moment. And that's where it sits, so got a good maybe 3 inch of an arch gap. Front is completely fine. Nice and tucked. Yeah, I need to sort out this back, so yeah, that's the reference point. Swap the springs and see what happens. Yeah, so while I'm under here, this diff bolt, focus, this diff bolt keeps coming loose. Threads are fine, and threads are fine in the diff as well. Maybe a bit worn maybe, but yeah, I'll stick some Loctite on it and torque it back up, and then yeah, hopefully it'll be alright. Right, so they are in with the adjusters just set to the very bottom. I've done a quick nut and bolt check on the back as well, just checked all the diff bolts, all the drive shaft bolts, prop shaft, stuff like that. Everything's nice and tight on the back. I'll drop it down on the ground, hopefully it sits right first time so I don't have to adjust it. Fingers crossed. So that looks like it didn't do anything. It is off the ramp, it's on the floor. Yeah, so maybe take the adjusters out, see if that'll make much of a difference. I don't think it'll make as much of a difference as I want it to, but let me try. Yeah, so that's it, it's much better. That's pretty much where I'd like it to stay. See what it drives like there. Hopefully it doesn't rub too much. I'm hoping the springs are stiff enough that it doesn't bounce too much as well. So yeah, let's try it out. Alright, so that's it. It's a hell of a lot better than what I did. Get on the other side where no sun. Sorry about the wind. Yeah, that's it's a lot better. Much happier now. It's obviously on a bit of a slant. But yeah, it doesn't rub, just took it for a quick spin and it seems alright. I won't really know until I drive it home. yeah, I won't really know until I drive it home, across the mountain, see what it's like. But I just spun around a few times up there and that, and it was seemed alright. Didn't hear it rubbing. I think the springs are hopefully hard enough that it stops it from bouncing up and down. So next on the list, let's see if these clocks work, or this cluster speed, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, so I just need to take the steering wheel off. I hope they work, because I hate taking these steering wheels off, all these little Allen bolts. For some reason, they just do my head in. Yeah, so let me get that off, get them clocks out, and I'll plug my ones in and see if they work. All cluster out. And new cluster, which is like a 161. 160 mile per hour clocks, and they were only 140. So yeah, and these are 6-cylinder ones, so hopefully they're fixed. I'll try them, see if they work. Let's have a look. No, so still no temperature gauge or fuel. Everything else seems to work. Yeah, so same as before. Yeah, rev count or anything doesn't work on this, so none of the needles work. Yeah, alright, so it looks like the cluster is still broke, still no dials, so no fuel gauge, no coolant gauge, no rev counter. Brought it back over to Steve in York Electricians. He's going to have another look at it for me in the morning, he said. If not, I just have to get another set. My fingers crossed he can save me a few quid by fixing these ones. Next, I'm going to plug it back into the Delphi just to see what fault codes I have. I did have some fuel codes when I plugged it in a couple of days ago, so I'm kind of thinking maybe it's fuel related now in regards to my issues that I'm having. As I said, I've changed everything else except for the fuel lines, and I think there is some like pressure valves and stuff in the fuel line, so potentially it's that. So I'm going to have a look at it now, plug it in first of all, see what codes I have, and investigate further from there really. Yeah, so I just want to run some diagnostics on it, see what codes I'm getting. Loads of codes, some I didn't even have before as well, so let me have a look. Right, so most of these are normal, like that connection to ACS, normal, cooling fan, normal, vehicle speed sensor, normal, vehicle speed sensor malfunction, normal. That's just because they're not getting the signal from the E36. However, these ones then, delivery pump control system, relay pre-supply pump, I think that might be normal because it's just wired up separate. And I do see that on M54s as well when they've had adapter looms and that fitted, and there's no issues with them. Glow plug module control circuit, that's the first time I've had that come up, so I haven't seen that at all. And boost pressure sensor, another one which hasn't come up. And the same again then, air mass meter, airflow meter, I haven't had any issues with that whatsoever. Brake light switch, yeah, must be E46, the brake light switch. Yeah, so the air mass meter, boost pressure sensor, glow plug control module, a relay pre-supply pump and delivery pump control system. I need to look into them, maybe not the relay one, as I said, I'm not sure on that one, but the rest, definitely that boost pressure one, I haven't had that before, so let me look into that. I'm gonna clear them off first, see if they come back, and see what ones won't clear. Right, so yeah, so them four, they're normal. Never have any issues with them, they're just normal after a conversion. So I'll start it and see if see what comes back. See, that done it enough to cut out then, but no codes afterwards. Yeah, no faults afterwards. Right, so this is pre-supply pressure on idle, 4.3 bar. That seems to be right. See, and it dropped to 3.9 and then it ran a little bit lumpy, so surely that has to be the issue. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you were looking then or listening, but every time it hits the limiter, it drops to below 4 bar, to like 3.8, 3.9 bar. Same as when it has the lumpy running issue, it drops to like 3.6, 3.7, 3.8. So potentially it's a fueling issue. It has to be a fueling issue. Everything else has been changed. It's not injectors or anything like that, because I've changed all the injectors. High pressure fuel pump has been changed. In-tank pump, I haven't changed that, but from what I've been looking at, the petrol fuel pump is rated to like 3.5 bar, and the diesel pump that would be in the tank on a standard diesel is only half a bar anyway, so this pump, even if it wasn't working fully, should still be pumping enough pressure. The pre-supply pump, I have changed that as well, put a new one on. The new one did exactly the same thing, that broke. Yeah, so I'll investigate it further and then see what the issue is. Alright, I don't know where I left off in the last part of the video. It was a couple of days ago, but I've got the compact on the ramp. It's currently Friday afternoon, Friday early evening. I've got some tyres I need to put on the back. The last tyres I had were like 195 55 16s, and they were rubbing a slight bit, so I've just gone down slightly, 195 50 16s. So I'm going to stick them on the banded steels, get them off the car, get my old tyres off, get them on. I have a tyre machine. They're going to be quite stretched. I'm not sure if I'll be able to blast them on with a brake cleaner or not. I'll try it. I could get the 195 55s on like that a couple of weeks ago, and I'll try these now and see how I go. Right, so trusty old brake cleaner wouldn't work on these. They were just too much. I couldn't really get the gap to close. It's a little bit harder on your own as well. If I had somebody else, I could have pushed against the tyre. I brought them up to Cooper's, and Gary blasted them on with his bead blaster for me. Yeah, took them up Cooper's, and Gary blasted them on for me with his bead blaster. Went on in a couple of seconds, so I should probably get a bead blaster. Saves wasting a load of brake cleaner trying to blast them on. As I said, I got the last ones on, no problem. A couple of sprays, blew on straight away. These ones, slightly smaller sidewall, made all the difference just no matter what. Tried for about 10 minutes and then got fed up and got Gary to do them instead. So yeah, get these back on the car. This morning then I noticed a bit of a wobble on my steering when I was sideways. Didn't feel 100% right, so I need to check that out as well. Got to use this car tomorrow for some skids. So yeah, so I'll check that out, get the wheels back on and have a look at the front steering, see what I can find. I'm going to put some adjusters back in the back springs. I like where it sits at the moment, but it slightly rubs. I'm only going to put the bottom of the adjusters in, and hopefully then that just lifts it up just slightly enough that it doesn't rub. Right, so these have got like a locking collar and then a bottom perch. I'm just going to leave just a locking collar on. Not sure if that'd be too high or not. Maybe. I'll try it first. Okay, so wheels, tyres on. put some adjusters in them springs, so I want to drop it down, have a look where it sits. I said I only wanted to sit a tad bit higher with the smaller tyres as well. Should stop it from rubbing. And then this tip then, I have a 90 currently, this is like 45. Might weld this on instead, because the 90 looks shit. So yeah, I might try this. So I currently have this tip, so a 90 faces straight to the ground. It's only tack welded on, like 3 tacks around it, so I just grind them off and tack the new one on, see if it looks a bit better. Need to sort out this as well. I'll do that at a later date. And also the exhaust, I'll show you now. Yeah, so the exhaust, where the downpipe bolts onto the turbo, just seems to come loose a lot. I've tightened it so many times, it just seems to twist, so you can kind of like twist it on the studs. So yeah, so I need to tighten that back up, because obviously that's going to be blowing a little bit there. And as I said, you can pull the exhaust. Yeah, so because that's not tight, you can kind of twist the exhaust. Notice I'm putting the tip at an angle back there, so I'll put it into the right position, tighten it up the front, and get that tip off, get my other tip on. I don't think I need to do anything else then, just check fluids and stuff. Yeah, let me get that done. Yeah, so that exhaust is tight onto the turbo now, so the downpipe is tightened up. Get this tip off the back, get the other one tacked on. So 90 off, get this 45 on. Right, there you go, so that's a bit better than the full on turn down. I've only tacked it on, I was going to weld it all the way around, but I can't be bothered. I'd have to drop it off the mount and everything to get to the top, so I could probably get to the top there maybe. But yeah, not too bothered, but looks a little bit better anyway. You won't see the weld, the tacks when it's on the floor, and the last one was only tacked on as well. So as I said, I want another compact bumper so I can use the bottom piece to drop this lower a little bit and to cover up this gap. So if anybody has a compact bumper spare, I need one please. Yeah, so this morning on the way to work, the steering just went a little bit funny for a second. Doesn't normally do what I've done this morning, so I think I've got something wrong on the front somewhere, so I need to quickly check that as well. Just going to have a look at any movement in any of the wheels or anything. There's a bit of odd movement in this wheel. I don't know if I can do it one hand or if you can see it, but I can. It seems I can adjust my camber without loosening anything. So I'm not sure if the top mount is loose or something. I'll have a look at that now. I just need to move the welder and drop the car down. Yeah, definitely a camber. Obviously that shouldn't be moving on its own, and to be honest I haven't touched this in a long time, so they've just kind of rattled loose. I'm not sure what this side was on, but I'm pretty sure it would have just been matching up to the other side, so I'll try to get them somewhat right. Right, so that's pretty much where the other side is. I'll check the other side as well to make sure that one's tight. I said I haven't touched these in. Right, it was awkward to get the two end bolts, but yeah, they're tight. Get out of the way, like, yeah, they're tight. Drop it onto the floor, check the back is at the right height, and then just check all the fluids and get my wheels ready for tomorrow, and we should be sound. Alright, that's what it's sitting like with the adapters, the adjusters in. Probably a little bit too high. Looks alright from up here, kind of. Maybe I should take half of the adjuster back out. Tip definitely looks better like that. Less of a 90 on it. Just sort out that back bumper when I get a chance, when I get another bumper. Yeah, it definitely won't rub there. But I'm not sure I'm happy with that. Well, I'm not happy with it, but it's whether I can be bothered to change it. Oh, it's on the ramp, I'll just do it now. Right, so that's better. Just took the adjusters out altogether again. Hopefully the smaller tyre won't rub like the last one did. That's just on the rubbers now. The rubber was basically the same size as the adjuster, so I put a rubber back in instead of using an adjuster. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to leave this here for this episode. Once again, probably a load of random stuff. I'm not sure what I filmed really. It's hard work filming and doing the work on your own. And I film it all on a camera phone as well, so sorry if the quality or anything, lights in the background, stuff like that. I'm no magic editor. I just film everything and stick it together. So yeah, anyway, enough about that. Enough ranting. I just need to get some wheels together, give the inside of the car a quick clean. Obviously won't film any of that. And then we're meeting the lads in the morning and we're going to convoy to the location where we're going to do a few skids. So hopefully there'll be some cool cars there and I'll be able to make a video. Not sure how much I can film, but I'll try to film a little bit, try to bring you an episode. Yeah, but once again, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff. And if you have watched this far, thank you very much. See you next time.